There it is.
I was gonna remix that before the season started, and I did not get a chance to do it.
I feel like you said that last
Oh,
season.
good.
But it's a work in progress. Do
Hey,
what?
I think it sounds awesome.
I thought it was going to be really loud. The last time I remember doing a podcast, it was like so loud that it scared me.
Yeah, no, I agree. It was the same.
Maybe I fixed something without fixing something.
That's the best way to fix things.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, don't get confused that we have a viewer. It's me watching it on my TV.
No, just listen. It's somebody.
Right?
Maybe if we all four do that, it will like, I don't know, put it up the algorithm for like people to actually look at it.
All right, hey, we'll get our phones out and pull it up on Twitch, and then
I'll get Savannah to pull it up on her phone
pull it
too.
up on YouTube. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what's up, shitheads?
I was gonna ask you if you got a ring. I could not remember if you got your ring.
What do you mean you couldn't remember?
I don't remember if you haven't got one for last year.
You know who doesn't have their ring?
Probably Wendell.
Yep.
I still have it. My bad.
Let me see about ordering you a new one because I forgot to do that. I mean, I can do this another time, but it's on my mind. I've been meaning to ask you if you ever got. I don't remember buying one. I remember giving you a ring, but I couldn't remember if it was yours or if it was Wendell's.
So you gave me mine from 2018 and Wendell's at the same time.
All right, there you have it. All right,
through our messenger.
All right, we'll order you a new one here in just a minute.
All right, yeah, it's all good. Well, we're back. Football is fucking
back
tomorrow night.
Who fucking plays?
The Ravens and Chiefs.
And the Ravens.
I fucking hope the Chiefs get fucking bitch smacked, bro.
I don't think I have anybody. I don't have anybody, do I?
I mean, I agree with you.
Lamar Jackson in his career is either 11-1 or 12-1 as a true underdog on the road.
Oh, is he on the road?
Mm-hmm.
Yep, it's in Kansas City.
That's amazing.
So, of course it is.
Also, DraftKings did a boost of if Derrick Henry or Travis Kelce scores plus 100. So, not a bad bet. I feel like at least one of them, if not both of them, is going to score. So, I'm hoping I get some easy money out of that.
Derrick Henry, no doubt. I mean, it's almost like 100% every single game he'll get a touchdown. There may be one game, and the only reason why he doesn't is because Lamar accidentally forgot to hand off the ball and then ran it in himself.
It keeps it too many times on a read option.
Yeah.
There's a possibility that Lamar doesn't throw it more than 25 or 30 times a game every game. Could even
as long as he stays healthy, for sure.
Yeah.
I bet he.
I mean, how do you defend both?
I feel like
Derrick Henry is not Lamar.
I feel like they threw a lot in neutral games last year. Like in neutral situations, maybe I'm wrong. I didn't watch a ton of football, but I feel like they threw more than. I'd have to vet that. This just me thinking out loud. I don't either.
There was not a wide receiver that cracked 1,000 yards for Baltimore.
Rashad Bateman. Oh, you said 1,000, not 100. Never mind. He was close. He was one number away. He was near one more zero on the back end of that.
Did he even get 100?
Dude, I think he had. Let me look. I may be mixing it up with the year before that, but I think he had a couple 100-yard games to start out.
Because isn't he with Arizona now, or even on a team?
No, he's on the Ravens.
No, he's on the Ravens. You thinking of Hollywood Brown?
You're thinking of Hollywood.
No, Hollywood's with the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Oh, but it's red. I mean, it's the same thing.
Who was traded in the
Desmond
Ridder trade?
Rondale
Moore. Yeah, but he's with Atlanta now, right?
Yep. Well, he's on injured reserve with Atlanta.
Nice.
Yeah. Didn't he tear his ACL or something?
No, I have no idea.
Speaking of tearing ACL, have y'all looked at Grant's team? How many people he's got on the PUP?
No.
I think he's got 3 already.
He tried to trade for Blake Collins.
He's got let's see, he's got Kendre Miller on IR, Kendrick Bourne on the PUP, Jonathan Brooks on the PUP. Yep.
Ricky Pearsall got shot.
Yeah, so he'll be on the well he's on they have him. Yeah, that's the other one I missed.
He was my rookie MVP until he got shot. Literal.
Why would he be your rookie MVP? How do you how?
Because when we were deciding that, Brandon Ayuk hasn't signed yet. And I was convinced that he was going to the Commanders.
Yeah, I just don't.
Of rookies. Rookies. It's not like of all players. But yeah, definitely rookie MVP.
Yeah,
He'd just go right in there with the Brandon Ayuk.
I can't believe you would think something so delusional, Chase.
yeah. I can't wait to hear who you actually pick. It's
Can
gonna
you
be
name
Brian
3
Thomas,
rookies?
I'm sure.
Can I name 3 rookies?
Yes.
Oh my god.
He can't. He's like, who did I draft? Who did I draft? Who did I draft?
I'm not actually going to do this, so
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I can pick 3 rookies. I can't name all the rookies that I drafted. I can name 2 of them.
So that's not 3. That's why I said 3.
But you didn't ask 3 that I drafted.
I
You
just
said
gave you a name. You already
3
have one
rookies.
name, so just name the other 2. And then you got.
Yeah, but I'm not going to use the one that you gave me. That's easy to do.
Right,
It's a cop out, Chase, and I'm not about that life.
Well, you just proved my point.
What did I?
Who's your rookie MVP? Let's just start there.
Oh, my rookie MVP. This is going to surprise you. I just thought about it right now.
It's a surprise because it's a surprise to you. It's a surprise to everybody.
It's also a surprise to me. Also, let me make sure I don't fuck his name up.
Probably gonna do it anyway.
He's looking up the 3 rookies right now.
No, I'm not either, bitches. Okay, here we go. Shit, I'm like,
yourself.
it'll be Brian Thomas. Rookie.
Hey, all right. That's really good. I like
Yeah,
it. Why?
really
Can I ask you, what team is he on first?
Jacksonville.
All right. So why? Why is he your MVP?
Because he was one of the rookie names that popped up into my head. Rookies.
You idiot.
Oh shit!
I was all for it. I was ready for it.
I don't know, man. Like, I mean, so on a serious note, like, I don't fucking like Kyler Murray. Just don't. So
Cool. He's not on Jacksonville, but all right.
Well, we're talking. You said, like, I'm looking at the list of rookie wide receivers here. You guys, why
Okay, Marvin Harrison.
now
Okay.
I'm listening why I'm not picking some of these other guys, because I feel like a lot of people are going to be like, actually, I just saw a dude the other day talking about how good Marvin Harrison was going to be, which he probably will be. But this year, I'm just, no.
Potentially, yeah. I
He
mean,
could be. I'm probably going to be way fucking off on every prediction I have on this one. Are we writing
I
things?
hope so.
You hope so?
If you
Why?
want me to.
Because Brian Thomas is on Chase's team, so I hope you're wrong.
Oh.
I hope I'm wrong.
Yeah,
so
I hope
high.
somebody
him.
take these down and let's revisit them in a year-end reviews.
All right, I'll write
See
it
how
down.
good or bad we are.
It's not going to be Malik Neighbors, because Daniel
No
Jones
faith in Danny Dimes.
Daniel Jones sucks.
Who cares? When you get 180 targets, it doesn't matter.
Is he going to get that many targets?
Who else is going
However,
to pass the ball to?
though, a target is in the general vicinity of him, so it could be uncatchable.
Yeah. I mean, so,
If you get 180, I don't care if 30% are uncatchable. He's still going to be a boss.
But
is he
Daniel
going to?
Jones is probably going to be more like 60% uncatchable.
Yeah, it's going to be bad.
Still, that's 120 catchable targets he could get.
Could get. Anyway, I don't have much of a reason. I picked one, and that's who I'm rolling with.
I really like that though. That was good.
No one's
You
surprised.
should continue to pick up my players.
All right, Tyler, who you got? This is your rookie MVP.
Unfortunately, it's also one of Chase's players. I think it's going to be Jaden Daniels. I don't think that Chase is going to play him much because I think that Jordan Love is going to have an incredible first 8 weeks. If you look at their schedule, it's absolute trash. But I think Chase is going to be tormented about week 4 to week 10 of who to start.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that if you look at Jaden Daniels' upside, I do think he takes a bit of a knock for losing Jahan Dotson. But, I didn't think Jahan Dotson was all that great. He's good, but he's not, outside of this world. But if you look back at Jaden Daniels in college, he was an absolute stud. He was just like Joe Burrow. He had the same touchdown interception rate as Joe Burrow, just on a smaller level. But he's got rushing upside, which is a BS cheat code in fantasy football. So mine's Jaden Daniels.
I think it's pretty
The
good.
one knack on Jaden Daniels is that he's small.
So is
he's
Lamar.
gotta stay healthy.
I mean, but so is Tank Dell, so is Lamar.
Mm-hmm.
Antonio Brown was small. I mean, You're right. I agree. He's got to stay healthy, but
I just think
Everyone has to stay healthy.
For sure. But the reason why I thought Jaden Daniels was a little different than most mobile quarterbacks is because he's proven his arm in college. Yeah. Anthony Richardson, which I just don't understand.
You watch your mouth.
The hype on him. I just don't understand it.
You be nice.
Because he never proved it at Florida. I mean, Kentucky made him look like a terrible quarterback.
But he's not playing Kentucky. He doesn't play against Kentucky ever. That's the good part about this whole situation. He never has to play Kentucky.
I'm just saying.
In his football life, has made 17 starts. That's it.
Insane.
Hey, of his 3 of his 4 that he had in the NFL, he was QB4, QB2, and QB19.
So he fucked his shoulder up, and now apparently can't throw it in the ocean.
Well, he couldn't throw it in the ocean beforehand. That's not the reason you want him on your team. You want him on your team because he's 6'5", 250, and runs like a 4.6 40. That's why you want him on your team.
He is a freak, a physical specimen for sure, but it's just his arm was not proven. Jaden Daniels literally threw 4,000, 5,000 yards in college, which is 3 or 4 less games than the NFL. It's just he's proved it with his arm and with his leg. So
you know who else proved it in college with their arm and with their leg?
Johnny Manziel,
Bryce Young. Same
I feel like mine was worse than Bryce Young, because Bryce Young has to be a little bit better with his new head coach. Dave Canales, is that right? Canales, who's the quarterback whisperer? Geno Smith, Baker Mayfield revived their careers. So surely to goodness, he'll be much better.
Jaden Daniels, as you talk about him, only because you're talking crap about Anthony Richardson. I actually really think Jaden Daniels will be good. I
understand the height of Anthony Richardson. He hasn't shown it at all with his arm. So it's just something that he has to prove this year, is that he can throw the ball. Because obviously running last year, which was very efficient in fantasy football.
See, but you're talking, are you looking at this through an NFL lens, or are you looking at this through a fantasy football lens?
I'm looking at it for both.
50%. If he rushes for 50 yards a game and half a touchdown a game.
I agree, but that's what got him hurt. So, how long is he going to be there for a season if he can't throw the ball? If he's just going to run, stack the box, hit him like a running back, and then he'll be out, right?
He can throw it into the ocean down there. You get somebody open. He can just.
We'll see. We'll see. All right, Will, who's your rookie MVP?
Oh, boy.
Don't pick one of Chase's. Don't pick one of Chase's, please.
Right. This has been a tough one for me to think of over the last 5 minutes. I'm going to go with somebody for Chase, but not on his fantasy team, and it's Brock Bowers.
Yeah.
Because I think that, Vegas's offensive line is not fantastic. So Minshew's going to need to get the ball out. And they're probably going to double team Devontae Adams. So who does that leave open? Brock Bowers.
Hunter Renfrow?
He's not even on a team anymore.
He's not even on a team.
They're all in jail.
He was the only one that was actually a good person on our team.
That's why he didn't fit the Raider way.
Exactly.
You guys have
Jacoby Myers.
Yeah. Yeah, Jacoby Myers.
He's a good redraft player, late in your rounds. Definitely should take him. He's really good.
I think Bowers is going to be the guy.
Yeah, he just started practice full today after foot soreness, whatever that means.
1,000 yards and 8 touchdowns. Heard it here first.
Damn.
And tight end premium, he's going to be a stud.
1,000 yards.
I hope you're right.
8 TDs.
You got him in your lineup already?
Yeah. For some reason, I didn't set him up in my lineup. He just was in there. But also,
Leaper was like, here you go.
Bench, and I'm just like, ugh.
Yeah, I feel that.
Not great.
All right, Captain Clutch, who's your rookie MVP?
It's Malik Neighbors. Come on, guys. Like this guy's gonna average 10 targets, 10 or not targets, catches a freaking game just because they can't throw it to anybody else. In terms of fantasy football, he's easily going to be your rookie MVP. He's going to get the receptions that are going to make him reliable and consistent player throughout week by week. He's your guy. I wanted to go Ricky Pearsall until he got shot, and then I wanted to go Blake Corum because I do believe that what's the head coach there? I'm forgetting his name. Sean McVay. He is really notorious for, hey, I have this really great running back, Todd Gurley. You know what? I'm just going to take the second guy, just let him be our dude, and then not pay him, and then get rid of him, and then we'll just do this cycle over and over and over again because our second running back will always be our better running back just because we use him more. And I do believe Blake Corum will have a little bit of a good season this year, but it will be at the back end. Malik's going to start out week 1 just with, 12 at least targets a game on average, and it's just going to be ridiculous. Whether he catches any of them, it could be potential for Daniel Jones, but he's going to be your consistent target getter. He's going to be out on the field every single play. He's your MVP.
So 2 things for you. One, Kyron Williams is either the starting kick returner or punt returner for the Rams. So that's going to play a factor in it because he's going to get hit more.
I know.
2.
But what about the new rules, though? Is he really going to get hit? I mean, he's going to get hit hard.
Well, he's going to
punt returns.
He's going to get more
not
hits
changing
because
anything.
they're going to kick returns. They make them return it more now.
Yeah.
So
they're not going full speed, but still, it's just,
well, that's what I mean. I'm just saying it's less likely he's going to get
hits
right out there. Yeah, it's fair.
Yeah.
And 2, Marvin Harrison will have a better statistical year than Malik Neighbors.
Marvin Harrison. I mean, okay. What do you mean by statistical? I guess like
catches,
are we
yards,
talking about
touchdowns.
All right.
Can I just say that Malik Neighbors is going to be my pick, but I'm so convinced that he's going to be awesome that I picked somebody else because I thought somebody else will pick him.
Yeah.
I think he's going to be out. People can hate on Daniel Jones all you want, but when you're the only one in the offense getting targets,
yeah, you should don't overthink it, in that regard. So we'll get that was fun.
Who's got who?
Who picked number 2?
Wendell Weathers.
I was supposed to say, I know he went number 2 there.
Yeah.
Willie McCringleberry.
All right, so we're just going to go straight to MVPs since we're already on
now
this.
We're going to do MVPs each position: quarterback, running back, receiver, tight end.
Can we do this? Do we
want to lay them out? Everybody do all of them, or do we want to do position by position and go around?
Let's go position by position. Yeah.
All right.
Since I went last, I guess I'll go first. What do you want to start with? QB, running back, wide receiver, tight end.
In that order.
Okay. QB. I tried to stay away from players that are on my roster, but I couldn't do it for this one. Jordan Love looked so damn good at the end of the season, and to literally say that you have 4 wide receivers that could potentially be your wide receiver one being Dontavian Wicks, which, let's be real, he's very small chance that he becomes wide receiver 1. Injuries have to occur. But you have weapons, and you have 2 tight ends that you drafted last year, Luke Musgrave and Tucker Kraft. And then you have Jaden Reed, you have Dontavian Wicks, you have Romeo Dobbs, you have Christian Watson, who was a touchdown fanatic, basically, for the 3 weeks that he was able to play in his 2 seasons.
Okay, that's fixed now.
Yeah, that he did said that, which is kind of weird.
They said he had hamstring imbalances, so that's better now.
I mean, either way, he has all the weapons around, and he showed it the final, basically 6 weeks of the season that he is that quarterback. So I just feel like he runs it through the entire season, becomes your quarterback MVP.
I'm telling you, I think that through the first 8 weeks, he could be the quarterback 1. I don't think he finishes there, but I think through the first 8 weeks he could be.
Is he going to be your Dak Prescott, where he's your weekly winner every single week?
I think for the first half of the season, I don't think they play, according to PFF, I don't think they play a single top half defense in the first 8 weeks. I think the majority of them are like 25 or worse, and there's like 2 of them that are like 15 and 16 or 15 and 18. So they don't play anybody.
Yeah.
Yep.
So he's going to be good just by luck of the schedule.
Well, and even after that, though, like they play San Francisco, and outside of that, I don't think they play a top 5 defense.
Nope. Shout out to Christian Washington.
Once you consider Lions.
I think that Jordan Love has 3 wide receiver 2s and Christian Watson. That's my argument. That's what.
3 wide receiver 2s and then Chris. Oh, I see what you're saying. Christian Watson's your wide receiver 1. I thought you were leaving him out. I was like, damn.
No. I think when he's on the field, when everybody's on the field, I feel like he's the guy.
It is amazing in redraft that Jaden Reed's going the most expensive.
Yeah, because he was super uber efficient last year, and I don't know how you could repeat what he did last year. Like he was very, very efficient. He's not. I think his expected points were like 40th or something out of wide receivers, and then he's like top 20 or something like that, 18, 17. Like he outproduced his expected points by a lot.
Yeah.
Oof. Will, I think you were 3rd, right?
Yep. Quarterback MVP, Jared Goff.
I love this. I love this pick. I thought about it, and I want to see if you bring it up here.
He plays 3 games outside of a dome all year. Of his 17 games, only 3 of them are outside of a dome. Like, I mean, just
his stats in a dome and out of a dome too is like ridiculous. Like it's from QB basically, I don't know, 4 to like QB 20. It's terrible. And he's in dome for, like he said, but 3 games. It's insane. Yeah.
Shout out Sam Laporta.
Yeah. So at Green Bay week 9, so likely won't be terribly cold. At Chicago week 16. At San Francisco week 17.
San Fran should be fine, but Chicago will suck balls.
Yeah, Chicago's likely going to be the worst one of that. But, I mean, and Amon-Ra just got that big contract. Jameson Williams says that he wants to be the top receiver in terms of yards and touchdowns in the league. So,
okay.
I have him on my team, and I'd
say that
like,
yeah, he's not even on a fucking team now.
Oh, that's awful.
So, yeah, but I think Jared Goff's going to have a big year. QB7 last year.
Yeah, I know. Like, he totally surprised, and he's, like I said, in redrafts, QB 12, I think. Like I said, down there. It's crazy.
Makes no sense.
All right.
Tyler, where you at?
It's Kyler Murray, and it's not even close. I doesn't like him, but it's
I wanted to do Kyler, but
it's not close. Best receivers that he's arguably had through his career, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah.
Defense sucks.
D-Hop?
Offensive line is. I mean, yeah, D-Hop, and who was the wide receiver to
I understand.
You know what I mean? He had Larry
in terms of the collective name.
He had Larry Fitzgerald when Larry was 41 years old. He's got one of the best wide receiver prospects to ever come through. He's got Trey McBride, who was awesome at the end of last year, and he's got James Conner, who's a serviceable running back. So I don't think that. I think where he's being drafted and redrafted is criminal, and I have made attempts to get him on my team, and it has not worked out yet. But I think he's top 5. And you look at he's finally healthy. He hasn't been healthy for a few years. He's finally fully healthy. In games where he's healthy, he rushes for 30, 50 yards a game, and he throws the ball well. So, I mean, I think it's an easy call.
Yeah, I'm with you. I love Kyler Murray this year.
Trey, who's your QB, and why is it Joe Burrow?
Well, as much as I fucking hate to do this, I got to say Chase.
Huh?
Jordan Love.
Yeah.
For the exact same reason. You guys were talking about how easy his schedule is. I targeted him in I was going to go after him. I don't think I got him in the no bench league. Who did I get?
I don't know who I got in the no bench league.
No bench.
I haven't looked at my team yet.
Oh yeah, I forgot that you didn't draft. But yeah, schedule's super easy. That's why I picked him. He looked fucking awesome last year. So really, we're just basing it off of what he did last year. He could be fucking total dog shit this year. Who knows?
Well, double dip, Trey. Who's your MVP running back for this year?
Oh, I don't have a fucking clue. So let me look at these guys.
You want me to go while you look?
Yeah, Tyler.
No.
Real quick before we get off of that, Kyler Murray 6.5 rushing attempts, 37.7 yards a game in his career.
Yeah, that's almost 4 free points.
Yep.
Yeah, he's good.
With his career high was at 51.2 his second year in the league. Had 11 touchdowns. So if he gets you 51
7
yards, 11
a carry?
touchdowns,
6 yards a carry.
Yep.
Damn.
Impressive.
That was eight carries for 51 yards. So almost 7, 6.5.
Savannah saying bye. Everyone say bye, Savannah.
Bye, Savannah. So,
all right, Trey, who is it?
Jesus Christ, why do they have? Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Dick out of your mouth.
I almost said the same thing.
Oh my God, you almost said the same thing. I'll tear your ACL again, bitch.
Damn.
That. Tear that fucking thing in two. Just take a step outside and there goes your fucking knee.
Gosh, damn.
All right, seeing as how I don't have a fucking clue, I'm gonna pick. Basically, just drawing a name out of a hat here.
All right. Can't wait for the explanation.
There won't be one.
Yeah.
This is every time we do this.
I'm writing the name down
Like
as soon as
him
you
picking
leave it.
Tyreek Hill every week last week.
For like 3 weeks because I wasn't prepared for that either.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go Christian McCaffrey. I'm gonna pick an easy layup. It should be him.
All right, but why though?
Because it should be him.
Because he's him.
All right, Tyler, you're up.
So I really wanted to go Isaiah Pacheco. I really did. But the signing of Samaje P.
Ryan.
I hate it. I hate that because he's so good. He's such a good receiver.
Samaje P. Ryan had 50 receptions last year.
Yeah, I hate that because I'm not picking him because of that. So
he's literally replacing the Jerick McKinnon role. And
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly, and that's why I was so high on him until they signed him because I was like, he's going to get it all. Who else is going to get it?
Yeah.
Edwards-Helaire, this Richard Steele, or whoever he is.
Well, and then Edwards-Helaire went on a non-football injury list.
Richard's Casey still.
Whatever.
Or Carson.
Listen,
I don't even know.
My running back is Derrick Henry. I think he's going to have I would not be surprised if he had 26 touchdowns. It would not surprise me. Not even a little bit. I think he's a lock for 20. He's finally on a good offense.
20,
damn. He's going to be incredible. I think he's going to be. I mean, how do you?
It was just your word
Lamar?
Lock for 20. I was
you can write it down.
He has potential for 20, but lock. That's pretty.
So Henry's career high is 17 rushing touchdowns, and the NFL record is 28 in a season.
Mm-hmm.
Think he's closer to the record or closer to his career high?
Career high.
I'm doing math in my head. I'm gonna take a ballsy approach and say the record. I don't think it matters. I think that their offense is going to be so much better than what he has played. No offense, Will. I actually think the Titans' offense is going to be better than it's been in years this year.
Oh yeah,
he is. He's a.
You got a gunslinger found now in the Titans, so it made sense to start throwing the ball.
Imagine the read option between Lamar and Derrick Henry.
How do you defend it?
Well, how do you
want to?
You can't
break your ankles, or do you want to literally die about the freight train of Derrick Henry running over? I mean, which one?
So it's Henry. It's Henry for me. I wish that I had him in more places than I do, but I think he's going to be a stud.
Amen. I'm with you.
So Henry was where I was going to go, but thankfully I have a backup now. It's Devon Achane.
But I did not.
11 touchdowns in 11 games last year.
The efficiency it would break all the
997
records.
yards in 11 games.
Yeah,
combined. So him healthy, he's been in the offense. He should have the lead back role, like with how they want to move the ball and how they want to get speed everywhere, and how they spread it out and then mix in the run and dump it off to him or whatever. I think he's going to have a major step up. Probably, I'll say 1,800 to 2,000 all-purpose yards.
All-purpose. Okay. All right.
Have you heard of what McDaniels is saying about him?
No.
Oh, you ought to look it up. I can't remember it word for word, but it's incredible. Like the way he talks about him and how he's a center part of the team and how everybody loves him and how he's put on muscle and blah blah blah. I mean, I think that's a good call.
It could be good. Could be good. I mean, he's your definition of boomer bust. I mean, where he's going in drafts is like early second, to mid second potentially. And to just go off of his efficiency numbers, it makes sense. But like Raheem Mostert's still there. They just drafted Jalen Wright. There's so many things going against him, but his efficiency would break every single running back record ever was if he remained that efficient throughout his entire season. It's unbelievable. For MVP, I went a little bit of a different approach. I didn't go who would be your running back one. I went who would be a league winner in terms of where he's being drafted in redrafts.
Oh, hey, that wasn't the question.
We didn't specify.
We left it open to interpretation.
For those
of you listening at home, we left it open to interpretation.
Oh, wait a second. I could have picked somebody else.
No, you would have taken too much time.
Chase Brown would have been a shitty pick.
Fuck you. Chase Brown would have been a good pick.
I feel like this running back, his rookie season, he was absolutely efficient in the offense that he was. I wish I could remember. I was listening to a podcast on my drives, and basically in terms of efficiency of rookies, there was only like 3 other players that were, and like 3 of them were Hall of Famers, and then it was him in terms of whatever metric that they were using.
Talking to Siri?
Huh?
Were you talking to Siri too?
No, basically. This player is posing to be the number 1 running back of an offense that we really have no idea what it's going to look like, except it's going to be run heavy. The player is J.K. Dobbins. If this guy can stay healthy in the regards of what he was during his rookie season.
It's the biggest if you've ever heard in your life.
Right. Exactly. I mean, yeah. ACL, Achilles. I mean, my God. There should be no reason, but this guy is free in redrafts. Free. I mean, I say free, but like 12th, 13th round of a 15-round draft, right? And there's no appointed running back 1. However, you had the Kamani Vidal potentially not making the team, the 53 roster. It was. I agree with you. You're not going to drop the running back that you drafted with a new coaching staff and everything. But still, if he could even be remotely as efficient as he was in the rookie draft with a team that's going to run the ball, there's no doubt about that with Jim Harbaugh, he could potentially win you a league just because you're getting him so cheaply. And he is just that top 12 running back in general. If he can even present as a top 12 running back, he's outperformed his ADP. He's outperformed every metric that you could potentially have in terms of starting a draft right now. J.K. Dobbins is my running back MVP.
So the Chargers depth chart has him and Gus Edwards both listed as starters. And the Chargers offensive line is sneaky good, especially if they drafted Alt and they have Rashawn Slater on the left side. So they signed Bradley Bozeman at center. They've got some pretty stud pieces across the front to not only protect Herbert, but to run the ball too. So that is a flyer pick, but could be good. And I hope you're right, because I have both Charger running backs on my team.
I hope you get last so I can have your first round pick next year, first pick overall. That's what I hope.
Well, I'm going to end up winning the damn league again just because you said that.
First to last.
17 tight ends.
Is that a thing? Yeah. All right. I guess I'll double dip. Do we want wide receivers? Okay.
Yep.
It's Garrett Wilson, guys. Garrett Wilson. This guy managed to be a wide receiver, 12, with good old grandmother loving Zach Wilson and
Cougar loving.
Somebody
Cougar
sounds
lover,
jealous.
and then Mike White, and then who was the other quarterbacks that played for? Either way, this guy maintained relevancy with shit. And now you have Aaron Rodgers, which once again, Achilles tear, so be it. But why are we so high on Atlanta's offense with Kirk Cousins about to come in there coming off of an Achilles tear? And Aaron Rodgers had the Achilles tear earlier. He's had longer time to recover. And we finally are having some kind of respectable quarterback play.
Because the media hates Aaron Rodgers.
Probably. The one bad thing about Aaron Rodgers is his plays per game, I guess you could say. Like, he's a very slow player. He runs out that play clock, tries to read the defense, and go from there. So, in terms of total plays, that's where Garrett Wilson will have a little bit of an issue. But he maintained relevancy with shit quarterback play. If Aaron Rodgers could be half of what he was, Garrett Wilson will be your wide receiver MVP.
That slow pace never hurt Devontae Adams or Jordy Nelson.
Amen.
Nico Collins is my pick. Picking one of my players. But I know that they've got Tank Dell coming back. They've traded for Stephon Diggs, CJ Stroud in year 2, and they got Joe Mixon also. But
a lot of weapons.
I feel
there.
like that
How's the feet?
Nico Collins is going to have the most opportunities in terms of one-on-one situations because the double team's going to roll to Diggs more often than not, in my opinion. So, Nico Collins, keep taking a step up, and CJ Stroud's probably going to have another good year, except for the 2 games he plays against the Titans.
Where he's going to be great. He's going to be amazing
right.
on those games.
He's going to look like fucking Tom Brady.
They paid Nico Collins as wide receiver 1, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Tyler, who you got?
And apparently,
I can't wait for
Stephon Diggs is not depressed like he was last year. So
I
we'll
know. He said he was in the worst mind frame. Not yet.
Yeah, he will be when he gets outpaced by
3 games.
Oh, I know. If he ends up being the wide receiver 3 on the team, no way he goes quiet the whole year, right?
No.
You've seen the Antonio Brown incident. And
yes.
Fucking the pads are coming off.
Yes.
He's going to talk about fucking hitting on
Giselle
Stroud's wife. Yeah. I don't even think that kid's married yet.
Oh, my God.
All right, my pick is a perfect contrast to Will's because I'm going Tank Dell. I think that Nico Collins, he's awesome. Don't get me wrong, but he is just like Jaden Reed. Way too efficient. I don't think it happens again. I think CJ Stroud takes a gigantic step backwards because he sucks against man, and I think people figure that out, and they start playing more man and less zone, and he's not as good. And I think just from what I've seen that Tank Dell's the best receiver on that team. So I'm going Tank Dell. Though I do think CJ Stroud ends up outside the top 10 quarterbacks this year. I don't think he's –
So
Nico Collins missed a game last year and was number 12 overall in PPR.
I'm fine with that. I still think Tank Dell's better. I think he's gonna.
That Houston wide receiver room. If you can figure out who is wide receiver 1, you automatically have yourself a top 10 wide receiver.
But what if
78% catch rate?
What if none of them are top 10 wide receivers? What if they all finish like wide receiver 24, 25, and 26?
And CJ Stroud had an injury.
Yeah, I just don't.
He didn't even have to have an injury, really.
No.
If he doesn't throw for 4,000 yards, like what he should,
he should.
then,
I just don't think he will.
yeah.
Well, he might. He might. Yeah,
I think if he doesn't throw for 4,000 yards, everybody's going to underachieve.
I mean, for sure. He has to throw close to 5,000, I think, to support 2 wide receivers and being in the top 12, top 10. Right?
I just don't. I don't think there's any in between. I either think they all 3 get 1,000 yards, or none of them get 1,000 yards.
Damn.
But I think Tank Dell's going to be.
It's been a year where there's been a team that has 3 1,000-yard wide receivers.
What about Eric Decker, Demaryius Thomas, and Julius Thomas? Did they have 1,000 each with Peyton?
mean, that would be your best bet, considering he was has the second highest yardage total. Because didn't Drew Brees break it the year after or something?
I think it's not super anomalous for a quarterback to have 2 wide receivers in the top 10. I don't think
for 1,000 yards, but I don't know if there's been ever 3 1,000 yard wide receivers on the same team. I'd be so surprised.
There have been 5.
Fuck.
Damn.
5 teams in NFL history have had 3 receivers reach 1,000 yards in the same season. The 1980 San Diego Chargers, which I'll give any of you guys $5 if you know who the quarterback was on that team.
No.
Mike Vick.
Good Lord.
No one else was going to guess. I just threw one out there.
Dan Fouts.
That was who I was going to say.
The 1985 Washington Redskins, the 1995 Atlanta Falcons, the 2004 Indianapolis Colts, and the 2008 Arizona Cardinals.
Wow.
Kurt Warner?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Larry Fitzgerald was still playing at that time, huh?
Let's see.
That was halfway a joke, but I guess it's not.
That was Larry Fitzgerald, Anquan Bolden, and I'm trying to think of who the other one was.
Guess as good as mine.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead, Trey. I'm gonna look that up.
Yeah, Trey, what's your wide receiver?
Who'd
you just look up?
Stupid.
Okay, it's Anquan Bolden, Steve Breston, and Larry Fitzgerald.
I guess I wasn't about to make a fucking pick or nothing. So.
Steve Breston. Hadn't heard that name in a while.
I haven't heard it ever. It's first time I've ever heard it. All right,
is that your pick, Trey?
Yeah, I do have had my pick for fucking 20 goddamn minutes. I'm Ross St. Brown.
It's a good pick.
Of course it is. He's gonna be the wide receiver 1.
Yeah, I mean, if it's gonna be him because he's on my team and I'm willing that shit into existence.
Lit.
I had a draft where I picked Jamar Chase, and the pick that went before me was Amon-Ra St. Brown, and I was devastated. I was so mad because he's the one. It was the one opportunity I had to legitimately get him.
And now the Jamar Chase is looking bad.
He went to practice.
Did he show up to practice?
Yeah, he did show up for practice, but he was limited because I'm sure coaches are super pissed at him for holding out for this long. When you have 2 years left in your contract,
just pay him.
I don't really want to
anyway.
This.
I agree, but maybe they don't have the money to pay him up front like he wants to.
They got the money.
You would think.
All right, Trey, who's your tight end? So we don't get your feelings hurt about you.
Well, he only wants 1 penny more than Justin Jefferson.
Shut up. Is that true?
No, he's
why?
Yeah,
because
that's legit.
2 or 3
1
years,
penny.
Whenever Marvin Harrison whenever he signs a contract, it'll be more than both of them.
I agree.
Or whoever's the stud at that point, it'll be more than both of them.
The NFL salary cap went up like $20 million this year. Like, it's going to continue to do that, especially with all these massive fucking deals that they sign with Peacock and Amazon and everywhere. Like,
I think the way contracts are being made right now, it doesn't matter if Jamar got hurt mid-season. He would still have to be paid that much because he could just basically said, look what you were before me. Look what you did after you drafted me. We made it to a Super Bowl. Joe Burrow wasn't healthy the next year. This year, you pay me now because I'm the reason why you made it to a Super Bowl. He has that in his arsenal no matter what happens this year. So I agree with you, Tyler. You pay him now so it's super cheap here in 2 years.
Yeah.
But maybe they don't have the money up front to pay him. I don't know.
But they're gonna pay him. It's just a matter of when.
Yep.
I mean, you look at, let's see, Nico Collins. If Nico Collins would have held out, don't you think his contract would have been bigger right now than it was when he signed? I mean, they signed him before he had his gigantic season. I mean, I feel like that list probably goes on, but
look at this too. So when the Titans signed Calvin Ridley in the offseason, that was like the 14th or 15th highest contract for a wide receiver, and now it's not even top 20.
Yeah, that's insane.
In terms of annual average value.
Wow.
Just shows you.
So,
all right, Trey, who you got at tight end?
Don't you pick mine. I'll be pissed.
I know who it's
I'm last in the tight end. This was my favorite pick. Don't you do
it. Brock Bowers.
No. It's my boy, Evan Ingram.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
All right.
He's going to be a stud.
I don't need any reason for it. It's Evan Ingram.
All right,
Well,
there you have
all
it.
I got to say is Trevor Lawrence is going to have one hell of a year because your MVP for tight end is Evan Ingram. Your rookie MVP is Brian Thomas Jr. So
He just has to be the best rookie of all the rookies. He doesn't have to be.
I agree, but he's going to have to really throw a bunch.
And Christian Kirk's going to pick up all the scraps. He's going to get 12 points a game, and that's it. And I'm going to be really happy with that. All right, my pick is
don't you do it.
I'm speaking it into existence because if it doesn't happen now, I don't know that it ever does, but it's Kyle Pitts.
Okay.
Kyle Pitts.
God.
As he gets added to the injury report.
He did get added to the injury report, but
yes.
I didn't I could switch. I could pick somebody else. If I was going to pick somebody else, it'd probably be Trey McBride, but I'm not going to pick somebody else. He's finally got a quarterback that's good. He's finally got an OC that's good. He's finally got weapons around him so that he doesn't get more attention than is necessary.
Yeah.
He broke out at a year that was like 5 years younger than when Travis Kelce broke out. So it's not like it seems like he's old, but he's still really young. So I'm not super concerned with his hamstring injury, but I think that if he gets out there and plays and ramps up, I think he's going to be a stud this year.
And before last year, apparently his rookie season was like actually really good compared to like rookie tight ends because there's, throughout the many years, rookie tight ends don't break out, and he still like put up respectable numbers compared. Yeah. So yeah, I'm with you. I think he definitely has the best avenue to be what he was meant to be when he was drafted, 7th overall.
Yeah, if it doesn't happen now, I don't know that it does.
I would agree.
Yep. Or at least see something respectable. Hang on. I mean, I'm not expecting him to go out there and put up 1,500 yards, but at least respectable games. If he doesn't,
he just needs to raise his touchdown.
Yeah, he only what, 2 last year or 1 last year,
something like that.
Yeah.
Will, what you thinking?
I'm gonna go Trey McBride.
I knew you were. That's another reason why I didn't pick him, because I knew you'd go with him.
Number 7 tight end last year. Caught 76% of his targets. Only had 3 touchdowns, but then again was playing with a plethora of shitty ass quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm.
Hasn't missed a game in his career.
Oh, he will now. Way to go, Will.
Yeah, right. I fucked myself. But yeah, I think that. And Arizona is going to be behind in a lot of games because their defense isn't fantastic, so they're going to have to throw the ball. So that should mean Marvin Harrison and Trey McBride both get a ton of targets, which bodes well for me because I have them both in my starting lineup.
With your 5 tight ends.
I don't blame you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, I am truly amazed that during these 2 segments that there was only one repeat name, and that was Jordan Love, because I'm going with the obvious choice, Dalton Kincaid. Best pass catcher on the team.
Whoa.
That's it.
Curtis Samuel.
His toe's basically amputated by this point. He ain't even going to be on the field.
That must be why it says he's healthy, because his toe's not bothering him anymore. You're talking about the only person on that team who has a good rapport with the coach. That coach brought him in.
Honestly, this is kind of a good question. What's more important, having a good chemistry with your offensive coordinator or good chemistry with your quarterback?
It's a good question.
I'd say it should be with your quarterback.
That would be my answer, which is why I'm choosing Dalton Kincaid.
If your offensive coordinator never puts you on the field, then who cares what you're?
They're going to take Dalton Kincaid off the field?
No, I'm just saying. I'm just speaking in hypotheticals. No,
okay.
I think
so if you're on that bubble, yeah.
I'm just saying. If you had a bad relationship with your OC, you're just not going to play.
Yeah. So if you're
unless you're Travis
Kelce,
team. Unless you're just the absolute best, you just won't play.
So sneaky rookie MVP could be Keon Coleman,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because who knows the wide receiver room there, right?
Yeah.
It's Curtis Samuel. It's that simple.
No.
I don't know why y'all can't see that. No. Don't be mad when Curtis Samuel is averaging 19 points in the first half of the season. Don't be surprised.
19's a little high, but I do
Curtis
expect
Samuel
him
won't
at the
break
start.
1,000 yards.
You said Josh
he will.
Allen
He
would
will.
break 600 yards.
Hunter Renfro broke.
He did it last season, so I don't know. Are you sure?
Yep.
So Josh Allen's going to throw for what, 4,000 yards? Who's going to catch all those?
Dalton Kincaid.
Okay, so Dalton Kincaid. There's max 1,200. So there's 2,800 left. Who's going to catch the other 2,800? Keon Coleman. Let's say Keon Coleman has an absolute stud year. That's 1,200. So now there's still 1,600 left. Where do they go?
To James Cook, Ray Davis, Khalil Shakir.
Ray Davis. Has Ray Davis ever caught a ball?
He's a rookie, so no.
Exactly.
For Kentucky, he did everything.
It just feels like you got my point right there on the nose.
Oh, no. Hey, Josh Allen will probably get about 3 yards of a reception as well.
Khalil Shakir, Mac Hollins, Marquez Valdez-Scantling.
Mac Hollins, the guy who doesn't eat soup because lions don't eat soup. Yeah, I'm worried about him.
I don't remember that.
You don't remember that? He had an interview, and he was talking about how he eats, and he said somebody somehow brought up soup, and he was like, do lions eat soup? And they were like, oh, no, they were talking about how he doesn't use silverware. And they're like, how do you eat soup? And he's like, I don't eat soup. Do lions eat soup? That was his justification. I don't eat soup because lions.
Was he with the Lions? Because that would only make sense.
I don't know.
No, he's never been with the Lions, to my knowledge. He was with the Raiders 2 years ago, and then he was with Atlanta last year, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I think that even if the thing that makes me hesitant to say Curtis Samuel get 1,000 receiving yards is because I know he's going to get yards rushing, and that takes away, in my opinion, it's going to take away from his opportunities to have him through the air. But I still think he can get 1,000 yards. I think he can.
I'm really interested.
I don't know that he will.
I don't know.
You're probably right. I'm bullish on him because I traded for him, which I'm still happy about that trade because I really, truly feel like Stephon Diggs is just a problem in every locker room he goes into. I don't think it – I mean, look at the Vikings. They got rid of him. Look at the Bills. They got rid of him. I mean, maybe he has a good year in Houston, but –
I'm with you.
I don't know.
He makes me nervous.
One thing to say there, too, is he came out and said that it was his choice to leave both places and that neither one of them wanted to get rid of him.
Okay.
So take that for what you want.
Right.
He said that he took his way out of both places.
Whatever.
I didn't fall. I surrendered to gravity, guys. That's all it was.
I surrendered to gravity. It's taking its toll. I just said no.
Tyler, here's your segment. Trades that you think should happen in our fantasy football league.
So, for what it's worth, all these trades have been pushed through Keep Trade Cut, and they are equivalent. Take that for what it's worth. I looked through the teams whose strengths and weaknesses, and I looked and saw which team had some to give and which team needed some, and which areas matched up. So we're going to talk about Will first because Will's team, this isn't necessarily a I need a player kind of situation, but it kind of is. So if I were Will, I'd reach out to Big Jed, and I would trade away Lamar Jackson for Kyler Murray and Dontavian Wicks. The reason being, I think that, for one, I think it would be useful for you to have a little bit more depth at receiver since you're starting 17 tight ends. So it did work for you last year. Two, I think that Kyler Murray is primed. They're about the same age. They're hardly any different. I think that – I don't know that Jed would make that trade. I do think that Lamar has more upside than Kyler does, but I think with Trey McBride and Marvin Harrison Jr. having Kyler Murray would just be stupid. I think.
What are their ages?
Kyler's 27 and Lamar's 27.6. Dontavian Wicks is 23.2.
Yeah, I mean, he was a rookie last year, I think. He played for Virginia Tech. He played for Virginia Tech. That's right.
Now, I don't think that he's going to be like this otherworldly stud. I think best case scenario for him is he gets traded to a place that they really need a wide receiver. I don't know.
I think you wait until the injuries happen, and then Dontavian Wicks will be really good. I mean, he's already shown in preseason that he's a deep threat. Which is what Christian Watson would be. And then if he gets hurt, well, you just plug him into what Christian Watson was doing, and then boom, now you got a new Christian Watson. So
the next trade we're going to look at. Let me make sure who these teams are. So this will be a trade for Grant Collins and Sweet Pea. So I think that Grant Collins should trade away Travis Kelce and a 2025 second round pick for Justin Herbert and a third round pick. Now, the reason I say that, I think you kind of get the poo into the stick getting Kelsey in this situation because he's old. But if you look at Sweet Pea's team is there's no in between. They're either grandfathers or they're the grandchildren. Like there's no in between on his team. So I do think that he is in a win now situation. He does have Mark Andrews. I get that. I totally get it. But I think that would add value to his team. And he's got C.J. Stroud, Justin Herbert, and Brock Purdy. What's the point in having three?
Have it all three. Yeah,
I think he should capitalize on the value that he's got and move on.
Super flex quarterback,
and it does make Grant's team interesting because of the quarterbacks that he already has too.
Correct,
because he's got Jared Goff.
Mm-hmm.
He tried to trade me Justin Fields.
He's got Aaron Rodgers, Drake May, and Justin Fields, but Drake May and Justin Fields are irrelevant.
Yeah,
but Aaron Rodgers, who could potentially be one of the top 5 quarterbacks, and then Jared Goff, who was my quarterback MVP.
That was probably, of the 4 trades that I've got, that's probably my least favorite of the group. I think this next one is probably my favorite of the group. Let me make sure I got the teams right here. Okay, so the next one is Trey's team. And I think it makes hella sense for Trey to make a trade sending away – wait a minute, I lost it. Sending away Dalton Schultz to Big Jed for Devin Singletary. I don't think it's a huge trade.
Tight end premium, yeah.
For tight end premium, I think it's a good trade. Trey's got arguably 2 of the better tight ends. I mean, Brock Bowers, of course, we don't really know. But you've got Evan Ingram, who last year in a tight end premium was like, he would have been the 6th highest eligible receiver, including wide receivers, and he was number 2 in tight ends. So he's obviously a stud. And then I think that Devin Singletary will help on his team. It's not like a long-term thing, I think, for the next 2 years. But Trey's got some old running backs, so I think it makes a lot of sense for him to trade some of this bench depth that he's not going to use for a running back that he can plug and play. And I think that just like Malik Neighbors, now don't get me wrong, I think Malik Neighbors is the best on the team, but who else is there other than Devin Singletary? There's not a lot. Wan'Dale Robinson, maybe? It's not much.
Even then.
It's not much.
He's a fun name to have on my team just for the Kentucky history, but
yeah, not much. Okay, I've got one more. And this is probably the in my opinion, the spiciest of the 3. It was a little bit spicier last week, but now it's not quite as spicy. I think that Jed should trade Isaiah Pacheco to Grant Robinson for T. Higgins. Now, I get it now because Isaiah Pacheco has, Samaje Perine to deal with, so there's a bit of an issue there in his ceiling. But I think before this, you've got a team that has what's perceived to be a top 3 wide receiver group and a team that has a top 3 running back group with tons of depth on both sides. Just swapping them over so they both have a more full team, I think, makes a lot of sense.
What's happening to T. Higgins next year, Trey?
I wish I was part of the team so I could tell you.
Yeah, because I really want to know.
I would love to see T. Higgins stay. I just don't think it's going to happen.
I don't know how, unless the salary cap blows up again, I don't know how they can afford Burrow, Higgins, and Chase.
Which makes more of a reason to pay Chase now.
Timing. Exactly.
For the anticipation. But maybe they don't want to keep him. Maybe you want to see if Andrew Iosavez and Jermaine Burton are actually, worthy of being your wide receiver 2 on rookie deals to save money for other positions. But you have to imagine that the owners are seeing the salary cap raise. But now it's starting to get to a point that maybe they don't have the money up front to pay the players, even though the salary cap is going up. So
they've got the money.
That's what I would think. But like, why is Jerry Jones waiting this long for
$12 billion last year?
Hey, real quick, let me back up just for a second. Who did you say I should trade for?
High Thoughts, brought to you by Trey.
Devin Singletary.
Okay, that's what I thought, but he's not on he's not on Jed's team.
Whose team is he on?
Hayden's.
Oh, that makes more sense because Hayden's tight ends are crap. As I looked at Jed's team, I thought, man, he's got Dalton Kincaid. Does he really need a tight end? Yeah. Who's Hayden's tight end?
Kokmet, Conklin, and Cade Otton.
Yeah, it makes more sense that way.
Holy shit!
Yeah, that's my apologies there. It's oversight on my side. Yeah,
Wow.
Hayden's got a lot of running backs. His tight ends kind of suck.
I wanted Chase Brown off of him, and he pretty much told me to go fuck myself.
I mean, that's an approach.
I don't blame him.
That's an approach.
Okay, I'm going to move on to this next segment. So this is going to be a reflection on our drafts. So I'm going to start with our rookie draft. If you guys remember, as Will has a big exhale, if you guys remember, in when we started our league, we had some keepers. We had a 17-round veteran-only draft, and then we followed that up with a rookie draft. So I want you to tell me what these players have in common. Okay, it's going to be a list of players.
Remind everybody what year this was.
Oh shoot, I don't remember. 2022.
Well, that was our first rookie draft, right?
So I want you to tell me what these players have in common. Okay.
Because he did Hassan Reddick.
No, hold on, just hold on. Garrett Wilson, Chris Olave, James Cook, Jamison Williams, Christian Watson, Rashad White, George Pickens, Trey McBride, Brian Robinson. I'm going to throw him in there because I like Brian Robinson. And Isaiah Pacheco. What do all those players have in common?
They weren't on his team,
weren't they?
They were all rookies. That's right. That's right. Something a little more granular.
He did draft him.
All of them were picked after Hassan Haskins.
Haskins Reddick. I don't know.
What's his name? Hassan what? Reddick?
Who is that?
No, it's Hassan Haskins because Hassan Reddick was he's the outside linebacker for the Jets.
All of these players were picked after Hassan.
And I stood beside that pick too because I thought he was going to be the main backup to Derrick Henry if he got hurt. He's been a fucking dud.
He's been a dud.
Is he on the team anymore?
No, he's on the Chargers practice squad. He got cut this year.
Yeah,
he's been hurt too, so that didn't help him any. But
but he's getting outplayed by a guy that doesn't have an ACL. Jeez.
Yeah.
And yet I still won the fucking championship last year.
It's so funny.
Stuck it.
But you look at the rest of your draft was Chig, Kyle Phillips, and Trey McBride. So you had one home run out of the four. So I mean, it's not bad. That's what you hope for. I think
3 of them were Titans.
Yeah. That's how fucking stupid I was.
Okay, here we're gonna move on to the last segment I got. I just wanted to give Will a hard time about that. So I have looked at our original draft, and I have a list of patients. Some good, or a list of patients, a list of players. Some good, some bad. What I want to do?
Yeah, because your team's a fucking full of IR.
My player is a patient that you're about to bring up.
So I want to talk about a list of players. I'm going to tell you the player, and I want you guys just collectively, quickly, to tell me where you think they would go today if they were in a rook or in a startup draft. So let's start with Elijah Mitchell.
Okay, how many rounds did
17.
we have?
Let's just say 17. Yeah.
17.
Actually, make it 20 because 20 is total if you restarted from scratch.
Now, do we take into account the fact that he's hurt?
Yeah, everything.
20.
Right now, 20? Is that
20.
Is that the collective agreement? 20.
He would be drafted at least.
Yeah, probably.
So
15.
I took him in the 5th round. Okay, let's talk about.
This is fun. I like this.
Let's talk about it.
They hadn't traded for McCaffrey yet at that point, had they?
No, they didn't.
No.
It looked like he was going to be the guy.
Yeah,
he was not the guy. Okay, the next player, Ezekiel Elliott.
I mean, right now he would go
9th.
With rookies being pushed up. He would go like round 15.
15?
Yeah.
Trey, you got any thoughts on that?
No. What was the?
All right. So Ezekiel Elliott went to Grant Collins in the 4th round.
Oh my god!
At the end of the 4th round. Okay, the next player.
That's him and Tony Pollard. There's Tony Pollard's big year.
Tony Pollard went in the 7th round to me. I got him in the 7th.
Yeah.
Okay, so the next player is AJ Dillon.
God damn it!
Undrafted.
He wouldn't be drafted. And I picked him in the 4th?
You picked him in the 4th round. 408. 408.
I didn't take Josh. It was Josh Jacobs or AJ Dillon.
Yeah.
And now Josh Jacobs is like freaking rubbing it in because now he's with Green Bay.
Yeah.
Just where I was hoping A.J. Dillon would be.
Okay, these next two are really good ones. Antonio Gibson.
Oh my gosh.
18th round.
Trey, any opinions on Antonio Gibson?
Oh man, I drafted him like.
Yeah, 18th. I agree.
Yeah, probably 18th.
Would it surprise you if he went pick 1 in the 4th round?
Oh my god.
Jed took him at the 401.
Was that Brian Robinson's rookie year? No.
No, Brian
Who
Robinson
was the
that.
other player? The other running back?
No, that was Brian Robinson's rookie year because he got
No,
shot
last
in
year
the
was
thigh.
his-
Got shot in the ass.
That was last year, wasn't
No, it was 2 years ago.
Mm,
Because
All right,
the Titans, he played against the Titans his first game back.
it? The next one. The next 3 are like my favorite.
Oh
My
no.
favorite. Dalvin Cook.
No, he was still
Undrafted.
with the Vikings. Yeah, I mean, you would. I guess if you drafted him, you have to draft him as a flyer in the last round, just because he's on the practice squad of the Dallas Cowboys.
He was the 10th overall pick to Jed.
Oh no!
Number 10.
Oh my god!
All right, two more, a little bit on the floppy side, and then we'll go the other side. Najee Harris.
I mean, now, especially
go
with
now?
how young he, yeah, I mean, what, fifth round?
I would say 7th now.
Trey, you got any opinions on Najee Harris?
I probably wouldn't draft him at all.
Trey's not with us.
Najee Harris went 4th overall to Hayden.
Oh my god!
Lastly, DeAndre Swift.
Go D Swift. Let's see here. That was his time with the Lions, but it was before he was hated by the team.
Yep.
So now with Chicago, with Khalil Herbert and Roshan Johnson behind him. Although
Yeah,
a
but
lot
he's
of
still
people
gonna
are
be the
down on
overall
him.
number 1 there.
Exactly. I think it's same as Najee, probably about 5th. I have him probably pretty close, 5th round.
I'd say 5th for DeAndre as well.
He's a little older, so maybe 6th, just for that fact.
Do y'all know who
6%.
drafted DeAndre Swift in our startup draft?
Was it me? 1
It's you.
overall.
Third
overall.
3rd overall.
I traded him
overall.
though, because I traded him with Grant. That's right.
Yep. All right. These next group is a little bit different pace, so and it's less. So Michael Pittman.
Where would he go now?
Where would he go today?
3rd or 4th, probably 3rd or 4th round.
Yeah.
If he
I would
makes it
agree.
that long because he's younger.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's young.
And I'm assuming this is a startup dynasty that we're specifically talking about.
Yep.
So yeah, 3rd, 4th, I would agree.
He went in the 8th round, beginning of the 8th,
Because he was a rookie at that point in
because
time.
he was a rookie. Yep. What about Jalen Hurts?
Gosh, he was a rookie behind Carson Wentz at that point. Was he the starter yet? So
No, because Wentz got hurt.
So he just got drafted that year. So he probably went really late in our draft because everyone was thinking Carson Wentz was QB1.
Did he get drafted that year?
Maybe not even got drafted on our startup draft. I don't know.
He didn't.
Probably not.
He didn't get. No, that wasn't his rookie year.
Oh, that wasn't his rookie
No,
year?
Was that
no.
his first year as a starter then?
I think it was his first year as a starter because he's on the veteran draft, not the
Oh.
rookie draft.
So he probably went.
Startup would be
8th
5th
or
now,
9th
by the
round?
way. 4th or 5th.
He was 605.
605.
Yep.
It's just quarterbacks, especially in a one quarterback league.
Yeah.
You're probably not going to take a quarterback until 2nd or 3rd anyways. And I would
What about-
imagine he'll probably be 3rd or 4th.
Debo Samuel.
Oh, he scares me. Every time I hear his name, I cringe a little bit because I'm like, what's happening there? Like, are we going to continue to play this little, jack of all trades kind of deal, or
Mhm.
are we going to trade him away so we can actually let our good players play? Let's see here.
They don't even know.
Now he would definitely go. He would go 5th round, potentially 4th.
Y'all agree with that?
I
Trey
think
Will?
he would go earlier than that.
I think so too.
I think he would be up in probably the third or fourth range also.
I was thinking third, early fourth is what my thought. Late third, early fourth. He went in the fifth. He was one of the first picks in the fifth round. These last two are probably my favorite. So we're going to start with Jalen Waddle.
He probably went relatively late in that draft, but he's a second round pick.
Second, third, yeah.
He went 309, so almost fourth round. Oh. And the very last one, Devonta Smith.
Hey, he's same with Jalen Waddle in my opinion. Yeah, so you would put him second or third.
505.
505. Man. See, and there it just shows you too. And now the running backs that you specifically talked about did not actually hit as good players for their short term. So it's a little bit of a different conversation. But the wide receivers hold their value so much longer than running backs. And look, we're talking about running backs aren't getting drafted when they were drafted in the fourth or fifth round. It's just insane.
And if you look back at our draft, the fifth round went Keenan Allen, Deebo Samuel, Chris Godwin, Amari Cooper, Devontae Smith, Rashad Bateman, Amon-Ra, Gabriel Davis, and Elijah Moore.
Oh my god!
Yeah, I mean
there were super hits and there were super fails.
But if you look at our startup in the first round, 8 of the 10 players were running backs.
See, it's so weird. We didn't know what we were doing.
No, you didn't know what you were doing.
No, 1,000%. There's no shot.
I'm the two picks.
What was your two?
Who do you think would be worth it in the first round?
Who's on your team?
I had the second overall pick. I took CeeDee Lamb.
That's pretty solid.
And then I had the 9th pick. I took AJ Brown.
Why'd you have 2?
I traded Will.
Oh yeah, the whole Javonte Williams.
Oh no! I traded. I'm sorry, that's not true. I did trade Will. I traded him. Will took Derrick Henry. We made a pick the day of because I was okay with taking AJ Brown or a couple of the receivers, and I traded Grant Collins for the second. And I remember trading him. So I kept Kyle Pitts for my second overall pick. So I traded him for Kyle Pitts. And I gave him a haul to get Kyle Pitts and his first round pick.
Gosh.
I paid him a lot because I thought Kyle Pitts was going to be the next Gronk.
What will we do if we did a dynasty startup now? Oh. I'd probably still suck. I'd probably make some kind of stupid mistake like I did.
I mean, the thing is, if you look at the players, like we had a lot of keepers, like Jamara for the 3rd, Justin Jefferson for a 10. At the time, Michael Thomas was good. He went for a 9th. You had T. Higgins and Ayuk go for a 10th and 11th. I mean, there were some people in there that you were like, yeah, like that's
I kept Josh Allen like 4 years in a row.
So, yeah, you had him for a 6th round pick. You had Javonte Williams for a 4th. And then we traded the game before Javonte Williams blew his knee up.
Yeah, that one worked out for me real well.
Yeah, because I gave you Jalen Waddle, David Njoku, and somebody else. Gerald Everett.
Gus Edwards.
Gus Edwards? You gave me Gerald Everett then. Did I draft Gus Edwards?
No, you gave me Everett.
I had Gus Edwards. I gave him to you.
Yeah.
Shit. You gave me Njoku.
Yeah.
It was a big trade. I wonder if I can see.
How did I get Njoku back?
Let's look at the history. We'll find out. You picked him in the 11th.
I drafted him.
Yeah, you picked him in the 11th. Maybe Jalen Waddle will be the easiest way to see this. Now I'm interested.
All right, so you gave me Everett, Edwards, and Waddle, and a 3rd rounder for Javonte Williams and a 1st rounder.
Yeah, I was convinced.
So Njoku wasn't in there.
I was convinced, but I traded you Njoku at some point. I thought.
I drafted him in the redraft.
Did you drop him at some point?
No.
He doesn't do that to his tight ends.
Hell no. Gotta keep them bitches.
Hey, real quick, I'm gonna interrupt y'all. I gotta get off here. I got shit I gotta do.
I'm sure you got anything to do at 10:20.
You guys have noticed that I've checked out of this, but I've got shit I have to finish for this show next weekend. So,
well, good luck to you, man.
Yeah. Rock out with your cock out.
Yeah.
Anyway, you done that?
What? What's my cock out? No, I'm not Flea from the Red Hot Chili Peppers. You guys might not really know what I'm fucking talking about there, but
I like Red Hot Chili Peppers.
No, but Woodstock '99, he played completely ass naked.
No wonder there was like 10 million people there watching.
Yeah.
There wasn't that many people there. Also, don't think that's what they were all there for.
500,000, right? Wasn't it in that realm of number?
Fuck no, there's no fucking way. Woodstock '99.
I think you're thinking of an older one, Chase.
Even Woodstock, even the OG Woodstock wouldn't have had that many people. Now European festivals could get fucking way up there. I think Metallica's played to 1 million people before, but
Holy shit.
uh,
I could have sworn there was Woodstock that I vaguely recall like 500,000 being thrown out there.
hang on, let me look real quick while we're sitting here talking about this.
You keep talking. I'll be right back.
Y'all remember Will Fuller?
Yeah,
God, yes.
I drafted him.
that's a throwback.
Yeah. He didn't do anything. He was so good for a couple of seasons.
Hey, we got some comments from a couple people watching this.
Oh, is it you?
No, actually, there's 4 people watching, and one of them is me with my TV. But so we got this guy in an 8-team league asking if he cooked with. Says he got Jalen Hurts, Bijan Robinson, Derrick Henry, Garrett Wilson, Devontae Adams, DK Metcalf, and Sam Laporta.
No,
Yeah, I mean when you play in a 6-team league, everybody cooks.
Oh, 8-man league. That's pretty good.
It's 8, man. I mean, it's still a solid team for an 8-man league.
If you're going to be in an 8-man league, your onesie positions have to be strong. So I think Laporta and Hurts are strong.
Yeah.
If that's a 10-man league, then yeah, I think you're going to hurt somebody's feelings this year.
What was his wide receivers? Bijan, Derrick Henry, Garrett Wilson, Devontae, DK, Laporta. Did I cook, fellas? I think you robbed somebody.
It's an 8-man league.
Daniels,
Yeah,
Jacobs, Walker, Hill, Wilson, Andrews, Flowers.
I feel like the
I'll
DK,
get
you could
there.
have probably gotten a better pick right there.
Here
That's
we go,
a
12 team. Daniels,
Jacobs.
Jacobs, Walker, Hill, Wilson,
Kenneth
Andrews,
Walker.
Flowers.
I don't think it's bad.
I don't like the
No.
Andrews Flowers team, but it's 12 team. I mean, that's pretty good. Anytime you're getting the wide receiver and tight end on the same player, you cap out your ceiling.
How do you get Tyreek Hill and
and
Garrett Wilson on the same team?
I don't know.
Unless that's Taysom Hill.
That's what
Nah,
I was
it's
kind of
Tyreek.
wondering. That's what I was.
It's got to
No,
be Tyreek. Why would he put him there? He
it's your
would put him,
two
right.
wide receivers.
But
then
the thing that I'm sketchy
running
about
backs
is
and a
Kenneth
quarterback.
Walker. Does Charbonnet still get more touches this year? As he
Dude, I
walks
think
into year 2?
Kenneth Walker's going to be a boss this year. He's going to be. So
They
good.
haven't really talked a lot about Zach Charbonnet, so I do believe they see Kenneth Walker as a 3-down running back.
And I think wasn't Mike McDonald a defensive coordinator, so it's going to be a defense first. Like the offensive coordinator has control over everything. So are they going to run the ball? Are they going to let Geno throw? Are they going to try to mix both running backs in there? Or are they just going to stick with Walker? Like it's going to be interesting to see how Seattle's offense comes out.
Yeah, it's just the way they're talking of Kenneth Walker. I just don't see Zach Charbonnet coming in. But with that team, I just would rather have a better flex play. If that is Tyreek Hill, you did great. If that's Taysom Hill, yeah, it's got to be Tyreek Hill because he's Mark Andrews there.
Yeah.
It's got to. Yeah, it has to be Tyreek
Pretty
Hill.
solid.
That's
You
pretty.
might have to wait a little bit for Jaden Daniels to be a stud, but
It's worth a shot because obviously that you built up your positional value.
go pick up Jared
by-
Goff.
If
I
he
think
has
it's-
his backup.
So funny that some random people are asking us about their fantasy. It's just
Hey, they're looking for advice, man.
no,
Bring it on.
no. It's dope. It's dope that they're asking, but it's just like we started this just so that our people in our league could watch it, and then we got this total strangers like, "Hey, what do you guys think about this shit?"
I know.
It's cool as fuck.
We
It's
need to
dope.
keep it up. Hell, maybe we can quit our day jobs and get paid for this at some point.
I'll be so down.
Oh,
Work too
Then we
much
can do
anyway.
this at like 12 o'clock in the afternoon instead of 9 o'clock at night.
Yeah, with coffee.
Woodstock 99, 220,000 people over 4 days.
Damn, I was wrong.
Yeah, you were way off.
Half.
How many people did you say?
500.
Oh, okay. Yeah. You're 50%.
My first answer was an exaggeration just because I couldn't recall. And then I was like, I could have sworn I heard 500,000.
Only a quarter, a little less than a quarter.
Whatever.
So, all right, dudes. I got to go. We'll do this again next week.
Yep.
See?
All right. Everybody, are y'all done too?
Are there any other comments we need to talk about?
I don't know. No,
I
that's
don't
the
see
ones we
them.
got.
I need to pull up comments like that just so I can see them coming
So
in.
thanks, Bay Money, and thanks All in One Show.
Hey
we
man,
appreciate you.
yeah, I do appreciate that. That's awesome.
We're planning on every Wednesday night. I think 9:00.
I mean, I'd be
to shoot
down
the shit.
the day before.
Yeah.
How do you even search this channel? Do you just say shit like you're just pissed and you're like, oh, this is a football talking show?
So when I searched it on my TV, I typed in "shoot the shit" and it came up with some long word like "shoot the shit," and it was talking about like shooting somebody. So like, ooh, okay.
Hey, these guys commented at 10:22, so they probably were potentially.
They just
watching.
Joined late, I think. They joined at like 10.
So maybe they were here for the answer there.
Yeah,
I would try to find another flex play other than Flowers though. I just don't like the tight end wide receiver there. Can you rate my team?
Can you rate my team? Bring it on, George.
Put it on, George.
Yeah. Send us what you got. We'll
give us the details.
Give our unprofessional
league size and scoring.
Yeah. How many teams? PPR not.
I'll tell you my team, the team that went running back heavy, or the league that went running back heavy. It was unbelievable. You couldn't get a running back. I had to stick with Aaron Jones or Ramondre Stevenson just because there was so much value at wide receiver. I was just like, I'm not going to take running back here. I'm not going to take running back here. I'm not going to take running back here. So my team, which now is kind of looking bad because I went with Jamar Chase first. Hopefully he stops being selfish and goes out and play. I did the Joe Burrow stack much later on, but like the other wide receivers are a guy, which I know I've already shown you, but might as well talk about it. I got Marvin Harrison, Jalen Waddle, Jamar Chase, Brian Thomas, and Josh Palmer, which is the late flyer who, I mean, he could be your wide receiver one, right? Non-PPR. Okay, so that changes it. Kyler Murray still with his his running back. Yeah. That's two good running backs there. DJ Moore and Jalen Waddle. Great.
Yeah.
Flex Javonte, which your Broncos running backs are always let me rephrase. Your Sean Payton running backs, if you can find the right one, is going to be really good for you. Your bench, I love Brian Robinson Jr. I think he's going to be, especially a non-PPR. That's wonderful that you got him in a non-PPR because he's going to be mostly your goal line.
I like that starting lineup there. I think the bench is big on boom or bust. You were
a big rookie.
The bench is big on injuries.
You were a big rookie lover. Look at him. He has like 7 rookies on his bench.
Yeah, I think your starters are great, but your bench is contingent on injury. I mean, I don't think that Trey Benson, Blake Corum, Jalen Wright, I don't think any of those people have standalone value without injury.
Yeah, Trey Benson you'll drop after probably week 1. Blake Corum you probably will have to keep just because of how closely closely he resembles Kyron Williams. Jalen Wright, you'll probably have to drop because, I mean, he's going to have to somehow outbeat Raheem Mostert and David Achane. Devin. Did I say David?
I thought you did.
AD Mitchell is a good streamer pick in a much deeper league, but a 12-team non-PPR.
Yeah.
I mean, Josh Downs stays out. Potentially, you could have gotten a good one there, but I just think, I don't know. You need to get yourself a non-rookie running back to be a good bench play of some sort.
Wide out.
Because Javonte Williams, as much as I do like the whole Sean Payton running back, I'm just saying, like Jaleel McLaughlin. Like you may want to drop someone and just get Jaleel McLaughlin. He could be your pass catching running back, just like it was Mark Ingram.
If you're going to do that, go get Samaje Perine.
For Kansas City, I
mean, yeah, they're a good offense.
Yes, but Sean Payton has literally not had worse than a running back. I think it was like a running back 11. And then I guess this is where the non-PPR comes into play. You don't get your points per reception, so yeah, that kind of changes things a little bit.
Here's another bold take for you. Alvin Kamara gets traded to the Broncos by the trade deadline.
That would be nuts, but it would make sense. But what do you trade him for? A 7th? Because I mean, the amount of money that
just
you're
sold
going
his house down there too.
No, he didn't. Oh, he's going to the Broncos. Oh, that's gross. That's gross. I've drafted thoughts on having 2 QBs, considering dropping Cousins for Ray Davis, Shaheed, or Jordan Mason.
I take Jordan Mason in a heartbeat.
I like the Jordan Mason, but it's not that you always want a backup quarterback.
I'd probably drop Jalen Wright for him just because Cousins is going to give you the potential to have some bigger upside.
Yeah.
And it may be a stream play over Kyler Murray, depending on which defense he plays, because Kyler Murray's going to have to play San Francisco twice. And the Rams defense, even without Aaron Donald, isn't bad.
George, I'm bold with you there. I do like potentially dropping a quarterback there. However, Kirk Cousins is very valued quarterback, especially if he's as good as we think in this new Atlanta offense. So he could potentially be a little bit of trade bait if he goes off for you, and then Kyler Murray ends up being who you think he should be. So I wouldn't necessarily drop him, but yeah, Jordan Mason would be my guy that you would pick up there, just for the simple fact that he's a much better handcuff than Trey Benson. That's what I would think.
Is go find one of these, the guy who has one of these cuffs. So let's see. So who's got HN or Raheem Mostert, or who's got?
That's pretty good.
Who's got James Conner?
James Conner,
And go see if either of them don't have a very good deep quarterback, and go try to trade them 2 for 1 and pick up Jordan Mason on the side.
Yeah,
that's what I would do. 2 for 1. That way, then you can pick up a different quarterback if you've got one, or you can pick up. What else do you have? Shaheed, Ray Davis. I mean, I
would rather have Jordan Mason out of that bunch.
Would you rather have Jordan Mason and Ray Davis versus Kirk Cousins and, let's say, Jalen Wright?
So you would rather?
I'm just saying, if you do a 2 for 1, I mean, who are you going to go for? I mean, what would you do if you were this guy and you're going to try to do a 2 for 1 with Kirk and one of these running backs?
I guess it depends on what the caliber player, in terms of if you were trading Kirk Cousins and then like Jalen Wright or Trey Benson. I feel like a player that you could potentially get
you Christian Kirk.
Surely not. That's not enough. But I mean, maybe someone doesn't feel so highly on Christian Kirk. Yeah.
Well, I mean, the thing is, if I've got James Conner, who's had an injury every year of his life, or who's Blake Cornback's up,
Kyron Williams.
I mean, they've got value right now, in my opinion. I mean, that's just what I would do. I'd try 2 for 1. If you can't get 2 for 1, I'd drop Kirk and I'd pick up Jordan Mason.
Bold. So, I like it.
I got an interesting one for you for tomorrow night in one of my other leagues. So my receivers and flex, it's 2 receivers in a flex spot, and I'm going to start 3 receivers: Devontae Adams, Nico Collins, Jalen Waddle, Rashee Rice.
I'm benching Jalen Waddle. You say you're starting 3 of them?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. I was like, I almost have to start Rashee Rice over him.
Yeah, you got to start Rashee Rice. You got to start. Who was the other?
Here's my
Devontae Adams, Nico Collins.
Yeah, Jalen Waddle's he's been redshirted for this whole. He's just now getting to where he can have contact.
I mean, I guess that's true. But Dolphins are playing who? They're playing
the Jaguars.
Their point total, Vegas point total, is like 49.5, like nearly 50 points. I think it's like the highest scoring game in Vegas odds. So obviously, if that's the case, then more points are going to be given to the wide receiver.
Contact your local gambler before throwing those numbers out there. Let me see what we got here.
Well, who did the Lions play? I figured the Lions would have the highest over-under week 1. Don't they play the Rams or something like that?
Yes. Sunday
it's got to be a high over-under too.
50.5.
For the Dolphins?
No, for the Lions and Rams. The Dolphins Jags is 49. Colts Texans 48.5. Cardinals Bills 48. Packers Eagles 49. Chiefs Ravens 47. So the highest is the Lions and Rams at 50.5.
So, in my opinion,
Raiders Chargers is the lowest at 40.
Yeah.
Oh, the Patriots are higher. I heard that.
Yes, because they're playing the
Bengals. Are going to drop 35 on them.
I think the Bengals are a 9-point favorite.
Yeah. 41. All right, here we go, Joey Koff. Let's see what you got here.
10-person league.
10-person. Are we in a PPR or no PPR?
need
Give
to
us
know
that
that.
info too, so we know.
So there's
That
Pat
does play a little
Mahomes
bit of a factor in our decisions.
Rashad Wright, Jake Ferguson, Malik Neighbors in the flex. PPR lit.
That Malik Neighbors pick is
it looks so good. Yeah. Malik
Rashawn White
Neighbors,
and PPR is awesome.
Raheem Mostert, that's good. Xavier Worthy depends. Zeke is good for maybe the first 2 weeks. Jaleel McLaughlin, I love Jaleel McLaughlin in PPR as a late round.
Yeah, we've already heard you get a boner over him.
I had it. It's still there, honestly. Dalton Schultz, Jake Ferguson, Dalton Schultz. I like this team a lot. 10-team person league. Obviously, your wide receiver. Technically your flex spot, because I would put Malik Neighbors ahead of Amari Cooper in this regard. So technically your flex spot is your weak point. You don't have one of those top 7 tight ends, which is what I believe is going to be how you win a league this year. Is you have one of the top 7, although Jake Ferguson may be actually number 7. He may be number 7. So, but my thing is if you could trade potentially like an Amari Cooper, and if later in the year, once you see if Brian Thomas or Xavier Worthy can actually hit as a rookie wide receiver, and you can start plugging him instead of Amari Cooper. If you could trade Amari Cooper in one of those tight ends, I don't care which one, Jake Ferguson, Dalton Schultz, to get like a Dalton Kincaid, to get like a Trey McBride. I mean, you got a pretty solid team there. Although Rashaad White, I do believe, in my opinion, is going to have less of a role because Bucky Irving at the end of the year is going to take a little bit more of the pass catching there. So I think you're well balanced. You have a lot of like older players that are going to be good at the beginning of the year, and then you have a lot of rookies that could potentially finish it off in your playoffs there. So that's good.
I would have patience with Brian Thomas and Xavier Worthy.
So let's get your thoughts on this. So we know Deshaun Watson struggled the last couple of years, which has been in large part due to injuries. Do you feel better about Browns receivers, as in Jerry Jeudy, Amari Cooper, David Njoku, with Jameis Winston playing versus Deshaun Watson?
Surely. You're welcome, Joey.
Yep.
I do.
No problem, Joey. Anytime.
He's going to throw it deep. And he's going to throw it to the other team a bunch, and they're going to keep throwing it more and more.
He's the only guy in history with 30 touchdowns and 30 picks in the same season.
I know. I like it. Yeah. Jameis Winston, like, his thing about him that was
gotta
always...
eat a W.
His pre-game speeches were what made him just basically a laughing stock, and now he's just so consistent with it. He just played along with it. Now it's his trademark. Like, that's what makes him probably a fun teammate, is that he is so awkward during those pre-game things, and they're just prepared for it, and it gets him hyped up. It's hilarious.
Oh, and the fact that he threw those 30 touchdowns and 30 picks when he said he couldn't see and had to go get LASIK eye surgery in the offseason was fucking hilarious.
There's like 3 players that had LASIK eye surgery, and they were all like, yeah, I can actually see the ball now or something. Trey Tucker was one of them, the wide receiver for the Raiders.
At least he's got an excuse.
It's going to be a rough year. I'm really hoping, like...
you think it's going to be a rough year for the Raiders?
Yes.
Have you looked at the Patriots roster?
Well,
you watching the preseason or their O-line?
No. I honestly think it's rougher to be in the middle of the pack and have no chance of making to the playoffs. I would rather lose our game. I would have rather kept Josh McDaniels all year last year, lose every single damn game, and then have the number 1 pick so you could potentially get a Jaden Daniels, Drake May, or Caleb Williams. But instead, you played yourself to the middle of the pack. You literally have to rock with good old Gardner Minshew or AOC. I mean, it's just,
don't be disrespectful to Gardner Minshew.
Bill Belichick was on, he was doing something with Josh McDaniels, and they were reviewing the Patriots roster. And he said something about that a lot of the guys that they kept were a lot of the same guys, like they kept players that he had last year. He said, so they must like them around there.
It's so stupid.
And also, Bill Belichick is getting into more like on camera stuff this year. He's on the Pat McAfee show every week. He's now on Instagram.
Oh my!
Yeah,
he's not coaching again.
He turned down a OC or DC job in San Francisco, I think, didn't he?
I think Kyle
Shanahan
said
the staff.
Yeah, I think he said he called him for a position or something, and Bill Belichick said, "Nah."
Nah,
Yeah.
I don't blame him.
Right. So, all right, fellas. Well,
That was fun. I hope we
Yeah.
have more viewers, more questions like that. Let's blast.
Absolutely. We'll take all the questions and like I said, every Wednesday, 9:00 Central Time. We'll do this and we'll shoot the shit.
10
Talk
Eastern.
about our fantasy football league.
Yeah, come back and check and see if we screwed your team or if we helped you out.
Absolutely screwed it.
Yeah, give us
Absolutely.
feedback.
To
Tell
be
us
fair,
if you love us or hate us.
I've
Like-
gotten like second place like in every league for the last 2 years, but haven't won it, so that kind of sucks.
You know, last
Well,
year
that's
I
because you
was
didn't
in 3.
start Miles Sanders.
Oh God.
I was in 3 last year. I came in first, second, and third, and the only one that I won was the one that had no money to it.
Oh,
And then the one I came in second with was the lowest of the other 2.
Well, ours you would have won had you played.
I
What
don't
was it?
know
You
about it.
played somebody the semifinals.
Well,
You would have ended up beating me in the last week, I think.
I
wouldn't it?
had Devontae Adams and Stephon Diggs lay an egg and Brees Hall lay an egg.
Yeah.
And if I had started literally, I think it was like any combination of bench players, I would have won. But I mean, I can't start them over those 2 guys.
no.
Well,
Right.
Devontae Adams maybe. Because
No, I think
he's on the
Devontae Adams.
Raiders.
He may have been. I may be misspeaking.
There
It
was
may have-
something that happened in the semifinals that if you would have played one person over another, that you would have won, and then you would have
Yeah.
smoked my
But I
ass
thought
in
it
the
was like
championship.
it was a pick that like no one would have done. Like it
It
was
was.
just
It was
kinda
me
off
benching
rocker.
Brees Hall. Yeah, I would have had to bench Brees Hall. Can I look at this on our thing?
Yeah.
Probably.
General playoffs.
You have to go to previous leagues.
What's the odds that Devontae Adams stays on the Raiders for the full year?
100%. I hope. And I only say that because let's
I was
see.
gonna say 60%. That
So
was my confidence.
Week 16, I started. No, that was a big Brees Hall week.
You had Khalil Herbert to get 19 points on your bench.
Yeah, and I had Devontae Adams get 1.4 and Elijah Moore get 3.6, Sam Laporta get 4.8. and Tony
It would have
Pollard get
been either
5.3.
Elijah Moore or Tony Pollard who you would have started him over.
Dude, I
Yeah, who
almost
was
traded
saving?
for who?
Kyle
Miles Sanders.
Pitts. Kyle Pitts.
Oh,
yeah.
One.
That's
Yeah.
right. But he was like, everyone was so frustrated at him. There's no way you were putting him in your
But I had
lineup.
three big players in CeeDee Lamb, Brees Hall, and Josh Allen, and everybody else sucked, and I lost
Yeah.
by 2 points.
Yep.
And you
Dude,
didn't have anybody that did great, but you didn't have but Jalen Waddle that did poor. I mean, Trey
Mhm.
McBride had 9,
Which
Terry McLaurin
that
had
was
8.
the story of my year for the last like 8 weeks.
Yeah.
Is I didn't have anybody do great. I just had it was steady Eddie, which is in part to me playing
Steady
3 or 4 tight ends.
Do you know how much that I would have won the league by had I started
Like
any of those players?
points.
50. 48. 48
Yeah.
points.
God.
Yeah. Because CeeDee Lamb dropped 40, Devontae Adams dropped nearly 40. Laporta had 15. Josh Allen had almost 20. So annoyed.
Yep.
So annoyed.
And for those of you still listening, our league is a little different than most. We start a quarterback, 2 running backs, 3 wide receivers, a tight end, and 3 flex players. In a full PPR and a tight end premium league of 1.5 per PPR.
We're just starting this year.
Yeah.
Can I tell you
so-
that the other league that I came in second in, I lost 119 to 190. I lost by 71 points. He had Lamar drop 36. He had Pacheco drop 30. James Conner dropped 26. Nico Collins and Joku dropped over 16. Brees Hall with 27. Rasheed Rice with 18.
So he told you to bend you. He
Least
told
wasn't
you to
close.
bend over and take it.
Yeah, and I didn't have that did good. Well, actually, that's why. I had Tony Pollard that pooed the bed, but I had Kyler Murray with 24, Brian Robinson with 12, Mike Evans with 10, Puka Nacua with 18, Trey McBride with 11, DK Metcalf with 16, Christian McCaffrey with 13. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't good. Oh my God, this is wild. The game before that, I won by 90 points to get into the championship.
Damn.
1 by 90,
155,
lost.
You were on it, yeah. You were on a high there.
155 to 67.
God. Was it Grant's team?
And I had a 0 on my team. I had Cortland Sutton for 0 points.
Oh my God.
And Tony
Dang
Pollard
it.
scored 5.
Jeez Louise. He had some record-breaking performances there or something.
Yeah.
Steven. All right, gentlemen, I gotta go to bed. I gotta work tomorrow.
Same.
Yep.
But I don't have to go to work until noon.
Bitch.
Fuck you.
Yeah.
We'll have 2 coffees in by 7 a.m.
Yeah. Well, boys,
Jeez.
glad we got to shoot the shit.
That was fun.
We'll be back
see
next
y'all
week.
next week.
And this is going to be on Apple and Spotify now. So make sure and like, subscribe, review, share, tell your friends or people you know. They don't have to be your friends. Just tell anybody. Just go.
Get us famous so I don't have to
walk
work.
on the street and tell people, like, hey, listen to Shoot the Shit.
Did I tell y'all what my daughter said the other day?
Oh, no.
She's like dancing in the living room and she's like singing and she's like, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I was like, oh, great.
That's your child.
I could get some pointers from her if we're going to do this for real.
Yeah. Right?
Yeah. All right, gentlemen. I'm heading to bed.
See you guys.
See you guys.